Hello, nurturers. Good night. It is Fernell here with Nurture in Christ. If you are new to our channel, welcome. And I hope that you enjoy this video and that you will subscribe and check us out every day. We do parenting tips, mom vlogs, family vlogs, and lately I've started a new series called Mom Confessions, which will be every Monday. So Monday Mom Confessions, and then on Tuesdays it'll be Teach Tuesday, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday you guys will hear about all of that, but I won't waste time getting into those. Today I'll just focus on Teach Tuesday. I was a teacher for how many years? 6 years. And in between my teaching experience, I mean, I had experience teaching preschoolers and teaching fourth grade and sixth and eighth grade science. So, oh, and I taught high school at a private high school for a little bit as well. That was different though. That was like a private school where I was teaching high schoolers math and science so that they could get their GEDs. So that was, whew, seems like years ago now, but I want to be able to share all the blessed lessons that I received over the years and over the just little tips and tricks I've picked up. I'm using now to teach my children, and I would love to be able to teach all of you who have young children or even older children. I'd love to be able to teach you. So if you are watching this right now and I see whoever comes on right now, comment so that I can see that you're here, please, and let me know if you're a teacher yourself or if you have children that you would like to teach, and there's anything that I can share with you from my experiences as a teacher. If there's anything you'd like to know, please comment below and let me know. If there's something that I don't know, then I can just research it and get back to you. And if there is something that I know or that I've experienced firsthand through my years of teaching, I would love to share that with you to help. So today I wanted to share this morning. Hi, Joy. Oh my goodness, I thought about you all day. I regretted not asking you yesterday, how old are your children? I remember you said that you usually get them to bed at 8:30, but I don't think I ever asked you their ages. So I'm so curious, how old are they? Because if they're young like mine, then I would love to know what you're doing with them at home in terms of education. I always love asking parents what they're doing so I can learn and be inspired by that as well. So we put our kids down, like, I think they went down at 8:30, but there's still a little stirring happening, so hopefully I don't have to sign off early. But I want to show you guys what we do with our kids, and the reason for this is because in my morning routine day in the life video, the most recent one, I got a lot of questions, a lot of people talking about the board. Couple to love. Ooh, hi. Ooh, I love your thumbnail. Oh, are you kissing your boo? That's a sweet picture. Thank you so much for joining us. If you are just joining us, anybody that's watching this right now, please go ahead and comment below. Let me know if you have children, if you're a teacher, if you're interested. Maybe one day, you don't have children right now, but one day you'll have children, and you're interested in different ways that you can teach them. And not to say teach them like they're not going to have teachers and all that in their life, but if there's things that I can share as a teacher, if from my teaching experience with you, I would love to do that. It would help me validate getting, I have 2 bachelor degrees, one in sociology/psychology, another bachelor in education, and then I have my master's of education. And not to say I don't use the degrees with my children, I do, but sometimes I feel like, man, I worked so hard to get my bachelor's and my master's degrees, and I don't feel like I'm using them as much as I would like to. So I would love, oh, you said yes, please share. Thank you so much, couple to love. Thank you. I would love to use it. I know, like, God blessed me to go back to school, so I want to be able to share what I've learned with you. With you. Like, I was really good at teaching, and not to say that's on my own fruition. Like, that was a blessing from God. I knew that was a blessing from God without a shadow of doubt. So now I want to share what I learned with you. So let me stop blabbing and get to it. So as I was saying before, if anyone just hopped on now, in my morning routine video, a lot of people asked me about this board. They asked, like, how did I make it? How did I come up with the things on it, and basically it was inspired by this really amazing woman that I follow. Her name is JD. Um, I'll link her channel below after this video so you can check her out too. She's just amazing. I love her. She's a Christian mom just like me and just trying to teach her kids as well. Anyway, so some of the stuff I got inspired from by her, some of the materials I bought from her teacher's website, and then other materials I just like made. So I'll show you. How's my phone saying low power mode? Sorry, my phone's already dying. This phone is ridiculous. All right, so I want to show you. I'm just gonna go through each item real quick because a lot of you were asking like what's on the board. You saw our girls using it, but I never really explained what they were doing. So every morning we start with this, and I mean really we start with reading the Bible and singing songs and praying and all that, like while they're eating and while they're finishing up. But then we start with this, and this is like a scripture alphabet. So we go through like what letter does the A sound make? Ah. The A says ah. The A says ah. Every letter makes a sound. The A says ah. The B says buh. The B says buh. Every letter makes a sound. The B says buh, and so on. But like it's like they're scriptures. So ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Matthew 7:7. So I wouldn't just say that to them. I would say, ask, or like ask, and it will be given to you. So like ask, or like I'm holding my phone, or I would use like the prayer sign. So ask and it will be given to you, because kids remember actions a lot more than just words. Aw, I'm glad you love it. Thank you, couple to love. You're so sweet. So we'll make it fun. We'll make the scriptures and memorizing them fun, and the only way that we're able to do that is by incorporating gestures. And I did that even when I was teaching my 6th and 8th graders, when I was teaching them like the periodic table, or about different protons and neutrons. Like literally every time we incorporated like gestures into it, it's called whole brain teaching. And every time I incorporated gestures into it, not only did they love it and remember it more, but they enjoyed it. I find my girls doing the same thing. So this last part says seek and you will find. So I'd be like, seek and you will find. And like really dramatic and silly, but then they remember that stuff, and we'll go Matthew 7:7, and you're seeing 5 because my other hand is holding the phone, but Matthew 7:7, and just being really silly. Or like another one, be kind to one another. So I'd be like, be kind to one another, and then they'll be like, be kind to one another. Like it's just a cool ways of making it, incorporating body language. My kids are they learn through music, and they are kinesthetic learners. So if they experience it, so they're dancing or they're motioning or they're doing something, and then I ask them to do it again, or I'm just talking about it later on, I'll see them do it, and I'm like, ah. So I see what kind of learners you are. I don't know if they're visual learners, but I do know that they're kinesthetic, they're audio, and they learn really well with music. I think most young children do. Next, we'll move on to positive affirmations, and I made these just using a site called canva.com, where you can, that's how I make my YouTube thumbnails as well, using Canva and PicMonkey. But this, I just literally made a grid, and then all the things that I want them to say every morning. I'm moving closer so you can see all the things that I want them to say, and that I want them to, there's power in the tongue, and the Bible talks about how like there's power in life, power and death. There's life in the tongue. There's life and death are in the power of the tongue. And it basically means like what you speak over yourself becomes true, good or bad. What you believe about yourself becomes true, good or bad. If we speak it, we believe it. So I try not to say stuff like, oh, I'm so stupid, or you're so stupid. We don't say stuff like that. We say, or like, are you a good girl? Are you being a good girl? I need you to be a good girl. We don't say that. We say, you are a good girl. You made a bad choice. You made a bad decision, but you're a good girl, so make good choices. Stuff like that. So this is an example of like the positive affirmations, and they're so good. We've been doing it with them for a while, so now I think they've memorized most of it. I hear Faith saying it and Harmony without even having to repeat me. But anyway, so I'll just read them real quick. So it says, God made me, God loves me, I am blessed, I am thankful, I am healthy, I am wise, I am smart, I am strong, I am beautiful, I am kind, I am gifted, I am happy. And those are things that we want them to believe about themselves and to like embrace as truth. I could have added more, but I felt like that was enough to start with. And then here, the days of the week. So we don't just do, okay, Sunday, Monday. We always sing songs. So like days of the week, boom, boom. Days of the week, boom, boom. Days of the week, days of the week, days of the week, boom, boom. There's Sunday and there's Monday. There's Tuesday and there's Wednesday. There's Thursday and there's Friday. And then there's Saturday. Days of the week, boom, boom. Like, and then for the months of the year, well, there's a couple different ones I'll use, but the one that they like the most is January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. These are the months of the year. Cha cha cha. And I have pointers. Where are my pointers? Well, I won't get up because this belly it's hurting so bad today. We went out. We took Harmony out. It was her birthday today, so we took her out to play, just to play. And I played basketball with Tony, and he beat me bad, but I think I overdid it a little bit, so now I can't move without being in pain. But anyway, I don't know if you can see over there, that's our little ABC wall, and there's pointers there, so we'll use pointers, and then they have fun pointing out, you know, the different months. Then below that we have Faith and Harmony, and I have their names, so they can like take these, they can take them off and replace them, and they can use them to go practice their name, or if I say, okay, go find an F somewhere in the house. So we have like alphabets up on the wall that I had just made, and then we have some scriptures at different parts of the house, like up there, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. So I might say, find a letter that's in your name that's also on the wall. So the letter E at the end of courage, or no, that makes no sense. The letter I in serenity, that would be also in Faith's name. And for Harmony, the letter, I don't know, Y at the end of serenity, that's at the end of Harmony. So like different, like a cool like little activities like that. And then color shape sorting. I really love this one. All of these Velcro off, and I will pull all of them off and then say, okay, choose a color, and then go ahead and sort them. And this is really good for not only color recognition, but also shape recognition, and then being able to like what's the word there? Being able to tell the difference between putting the shape here, like that would be incorrect, obviously, because the red square goes, it's good that it's a square, but the square goes with the red square, or the red square goes in the red category, and the blue square goes in the blue category. So it's working on two different skills there. I guess we're missing one. It's working on two different skills there, and the girls have really gotten good at that. At first, Harmony was struggling. I think I exposed her to this when she was about just over a year, and she would struggle. She would just like stick anything anywhere. And then the first thing that she started doing correctly was putting the shapes with the right shapes, but she would always put them in the wrong color category. And now, after doing it for about a month, she got it. Thanks, Joy. Joy said, that's nice, thank you. After doing that for a month, she started getting it, and now she's this is like boring for her, so I need to like update it, and I'll show you what I'm gonna update it with and switch it out with the next thing. And I did not know that Faith was struggling this much until I started using this. I thought, like, she knows her numbers. She knows how to count to 100. So I'm thinking, and Harmony can count to 40. So I'm thinking, and Harmony turned 2 today. You know what I mean? Hi, Michelle. Oh my gosh, Michelle, it's so good to see you. I haven't seen you forever, girl. It's so good to see you. How are you? Okay, so because Faith can count to 100 and Harmony can count to 40, I was thinking, oh, okay, they're good. They know their numbers. Actually, they don't. The number recognition, when you actually see it, is so much different than knowing the number and saying it from memory. Like rote learning, like being able to memorize a story and read word for word or say the story, is not the same as knowing how to read. So anyway, I took all of these off, and she couldn't put any of them on. And I was like, you don't know, you can read from 1 to 10, but you don't know what the 1 looks like versus what the 2 looks like. And she got frustrated, and she was like, I'm not doing this, Mama. No, I'm not doing it. I don't want to do it. And she like threw it down and walked away. And I was like, oh. Oh, okay, so we have to practice. So we've been practicing with these, just going 1 to 10, keeping it really basic and really low. And now, after practicing maybe like 3 times, 4 times, she knows it. She knows, she recognizes the 1 looks like this, the 2 looks like this, the 3 looks like this. So before she would say put what 2 things, she kept messing up and putting the 3 by the 8s because they're very similar, 3 and 8. I just saw Jillian sign on. Hi sis. Oh my goodness, it's so good to see you. I sent you a message a little while ago. Um, so the 3 looks very similar to the 8. So she would continue to, switch it out. So we just had to practice that. The next thing that we have been working on is the alphabet. And the same song that I said that we sing for the scriptures, we sing for the A. So the A says ah, the A says ah. Every letter makes a sound. The A says ah, the B says b, the B says b. You said she's so smart. It's hard when they're learning, but oh, thank you so much, Michelle. You're so sweet. Honestly, when I taught 6th grade and 8th grade, I can't tell you how many like I should have been teaching concepts that were like teaching them how to use a microscope and how to like create slides and put them under the microscope and just different biomes, all these things that I wanted to teach these kids, and I couldn't because they didn't know the water cycle. They didn't know the water cycle, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you're like 14, 13, 14 years old and you don't know the water cycle. How are you gonna do? And like, so I realized like it's so important. So I would teach them like, and I started teaching our kids too. Like, there's a song that I made up that goes up with evaporation, goes around with condensation, comes down with precipitation. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And I mean, these kids were like, what do you mean precipitation? What do you mean with precipitation? I'm like, oh my gosh. How are you going to succeed in high school if you don't know the word precipitation and condensation and you don't know the difference? So we would just like do stuff like that, but it was eye-opening to me that like if you don't start ingraining these and teaching kids at a young age, honestly they struggle, and it's so heartbreaking because they want to learn and they want to succeed, but it's so much information and they just haven't learned it. So I'm like, okay, how can I prepare my kids for success? They're done already. Black, if you're watching this and you're not, don't take that personal. I'm just keeping it real. Black kids, we're stereotyped and we're judged. And if you don't believe that and you want to argue with me, because I've talked about stuff like this in videos and had people write me and say, you know, question it. I know I've lived it and I've seen it, and my kids are now experiencing some of the stuff that I experienced. Okay, so I'm not gonna argue that. There's stereotypes and there's judgments, and we struggle already enough. So the best thing we can do is prepare our kids by educating them at a young age. And that means, it doesn't mean that they're not going to be stereotyped, and it doesn't mean that they're not going to struggle. That is so true. We are now dealing with, oh my gosh, are you dealing with that with your son? I'm so sorry to hear that, Michelle. It's such a reality, girl. It's such a reality. My daughter Faith, she goes to preschool. She's the only black kid, not only in her class, she's the only black kid in preschool. In preschool. It's okay, Joanne. It's so good to see you. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry to hear that your child is dealing with that, Michelle. It's a struggle, man. But the best thing we can do is like help them by giving them like a foot up, by just educating them so that they're not dealing with like. I'll give you an example. A kid, 2 kids, a black kid and a white kid might go and have the same issues in class. They might have the exact same issues in class, like identifying, I don't know, the difference, like I talked about earlier, like between a red square versus a blue square. The black kid, it will be suggested that he, that's not a good example. Behavior, talking a lot. Talking. Teacher asking you to stop talking. The black kid will be assumed to be possibly have attention deficit disorder, and that he should be evaluated for that. Whereas the white kid, he's challenged. He's not being challenged. Sorry. He's bored because he knows the information, so he's talking because he's bored. Whereas the same kid, the same situation, the same behavior from the black kid is being seen as a possible learning disability. And I'm not saying come at me, you know what I mean? Like, come at me if you're one of those people that disagree, and it happens all the time. Come for me, and I will give you real life examples that I've dealt with over and over and over and over through my teaching career, being a teacher and experiencing these kids seeing the behavior for myself and hearing the conversations in conferences, in when you're talking with staff members, in the meetings with the principals, with the learning specialists, I'm telling you over and I'd be like, well, what's the difference? What's the difference between kid A and kid B? How is this kid being referred and this kid is not? Over and over and over. Like, anyway, it's true. It's a reality. Please don't argue with me. Just do the research and you'll see, like, for yourself. We have to, if you're black, if you're a minority, a visible minority, not just black, you can be any visible minority. Prepare your kids by educating them as much as you can, because we're not there yet. We live in a country and we're not there yet. The stereotypes and the isms are so prevalent, and your kid will be pushed into a box and considered to be problematic. And if you're not educating them, someone else might not. Yes, so true. They keep saying he has behavior problems. Yep, but the only, oops, where did that go? But he only started having them when he started kindergarten, and when another kid started picking on him. Exactly. Michelle, I'm going to continue that conversation offline with you, because I'd love to know. That's so sad. I'd love to know how I can support. I'll tell you some of the stuff that I've experienced and some of the stuff that I would tell some of the parents of students that were so-called having behavior problems. But I have some questions about your son directly, not to make assumptions. I'm going to ask you some questions so we can talk about that. But I'm so sorry. That's like got to be frustrating, man. All right, let me move on for anyone that doesn't have much time. I want to show you, a lot of you asked about this. And all I did for this is literally I bought a laminator on, no problem, Michelle. I bought a laminator on Amazon, and then I bought paper, like from the dollar store, paper letters, and I just laminated so it would be firm, and then I put Velcro behind it. So, and then I wrote F-A-I-T-H and H-A-R-M-O-N-Y. Those are my daughter's names. So here they are right here. And then literally I just got different letters, different colors, and stuck them on here so that they could practice spelling their names. Not to say they don't have to practice writing it, but this helps. Just this was like is helpful just to get them started. And we go F-A-I-T-H spells faith, F-A-I-T-H spells faith, F-A-I-T-H spells faith, F-A-I-T-H spells faith, faith, and then harmony, H-A-R-M-O-N-Y, 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 harmony. And it helps. It's ingrained. So like they both know how to spell their name, which is amazing, because a lot of kids their age don't. But it's something that they're going to need to know. And you don't want them getting into school. Like, the worst thing would be for your kid to start preschool or kindergarten, and they're so busy trying to learn letter sounds like A, A, B, K, D, F, G. Like, they're so busy trying to learn that, and how to learn how to say their name, and how to spell their name, and all these other skills, that they're overwhelmed. And now in addition to learning all those basic skills, they're also trying to learn social skills, like this boy is looking at me and pushing me and poking me and following me and doing all these things, and like I don't know how to deal with that. Or conflict resolution, like kids are laughing at me because they saw me, eating soup, and they thought that that was like silly. So now I'm dealing with this, and I'm dealing with learning 30 other names or 20 other names. So I'm trying to learn names, the teachers' names, the kids' names. I'm trying to learn how to do conflict resolution, and I'm trying to learn colors and numbers and shapes and sounds, and it's so much. And yes, their little minds are brilliant and they can do it, but it's a lot. So if you can give your kid a head start by teaching them some of this stuff, they won't have so much to juggle when they do start school. And if your kids have already started school, like Michelle's, and someone else that was on here, I know your child is in grade 2 now. So if your students have already started school, all I can say is continue working at these skills with them, because they're foundational skills. Tracy, hi. You said they have so much to deal with. Yes, hi Tracy. Thank you so much for watching, sis. Oh, I love you. You guys, if you're into crafting at all, go check out Tracy's channel. She's amazing. She's like my biggest inspiration ever. She can create anything from anything, from nothing. So if your children have already started school, what I can say is continue doing these skills with them, because, and not like obviously like red, blue, yellow, duh, like they know that stuff, but I mean like the foundational skills. So like reading and Like, I'll give you an example. When I taught fourth grade, there were so, oh, I love you, Tracy. When I taught fourth grade, there were kids in there that we were doing math problems, but because when they're reading the word, like, they'll see the word rhombus or parallelogram, and they don't know what the word says. So they are spending time now trying to understand when they read the word parallelogram or rhombus, the question what is the question asking them to do? Sorry, they're not even focused on what is the question asking them to do. They've already halfway through the sentence of the question, they've already stopped. Like their mind has already stopped working on the question because now they're trying to figure out what's a parallelogram, what's a rhombus. So like I've taught my girls, let me see. I might have it on here. So like this is an example of like a shape sheet where we teach these are the basic shapes that we start with, right? And these all come off just like so like, sorry, I had to rip it off. So just like the other ones, so they have to match it. But so I'll give you an example. So these are the basic shapes, but I've taught my girls the word diamond is not the word diamond. So when you see that shape, if you're asked what it is, it's diamond or rhombus. So when you ask Faith, what shape is this? She'll say it's a diamond or a rhombus. And Harmony will do it too. So it's like just teaching them little things like that will help them, like, I don't know, almost just to start like the vocabulary bank and start understanding like that there's so much more than what you're seeing. And then I do have another one. It's behind there, but I'm in pain, so I can't get up right now. I do have another one where they have octagon, pentagon. Oh, okay, I can't move. I have a puzzle there I was going to show you, but that has octagon, pentagon, and what's the other one? Octagon, pentagon, hexagon, so that they can just start learning those kind of shapes too. But like, if my point is basically, if you start teaching them about like things that they're not necessarily expected to know at this young age, later on when they are reading and learning other problems, they're not going to spend forever trying to like dissect, what are you talking about? What's an octagon? What's the difference between an octagon and a pentagon? What are you saying? Okay, so here's another one. Oh, thank you, Michelle. Here's another one. My phone's dying. I better charge this. Hopefully this isn't, I need to put my charger in. Here's another one. How many animals are in each box? So Faith would just put the numbers anywhere, anything anywhere. And then I told her, no, we need to practice counting. Like, count and then find the number that goes with the box. And all of these rip off as well. So, like, this is the number 3. She can't just put it anywhere. She has to figure out where does it go and put it in the correct spot. The next one that we do that Faith really loves, because she loves the solar system like her daddy, who's an aerospace engineer. So matching these as well, and these come off as well. I also laminated and put Velcro behind it, so I'll just pull them all off, and then they have to figure out just match it, match the words, match the picture, whatever. The one skill that they've been working on for the last 2 weeks, and they're just like, they've already gotten it, so I'm like, well, let me move on, is the continents. So they know that there's 7 continents, they know where they are, and which ones are biggest to smallest. So there's a song that we found online that goes, I'm gonna just I'm gonna grab my charger. You guys, I'm in so much pain. Michelle said, where did I get the printouts? Some of them I made, and some of them I found online. I can actually, where's my charger? I'll put a link with all of the printouts down below so that you can print them off too if you want to start working on any of these with your children. Don't mind me, I'm sticking in my charger so that this video doesn't die. Oof, okay. Yeah, you said be careful. Thanks, Tracy. Yeah, man, this baby is due in exactly 4 weeks. Oh my gosh. And we took the kids out earlier, and I think I just overdid it. I overdid it. I'm in so much pain. I'm always in pain, but I'm in more pain than normal today. So there's a song that goes, and I'll show you. The song describes the continents in order from biggest to small. And I found it on YouTube. I can link that as well. But it goes, I don't know if you can see this. So I'll pull all of these off for them, and then we'll sing the song. And it goes, so the continents, they are Asia, Africa, North and South America, Antarctica, Europe, and finally Australia. So they know the song now really well, and now it's just a matter of like, do you know where the continents are actually located? So if I were to pull all of them off, would you be able to recognize it? If I were to give you a blank one, could you recognize where they go? So they're not there yet. Right now they just know the names of the continents and the orders from biggest to small. And that's just based on the song. Songs really help. If you have young kids, songs, let me tell you, they help. So yeah, so now we're going to be practicing locating the continents. And then we'll work on countries, but continents are the big ones. And then the next thing that we work on is the weather. So today was cloudy. It was just cloudy. So one of these is missing. The partly cloudy is missing. I don't know where that is. I'm gonna have to remake it, but it's this little chart right here. Let me see if you guys can see that. So it says today's weather is, and they just have to like look outside the window and pick which one it is. So stormy, sunny, windy, rainy. Snowy is also missing. So sorry, I dropped my phone. Snowy's missing and partly cloudy's missing. I don't know where they are, but they go here. And they have to pick and put it in today's weather. And the cool thing is like they work together, so they'll talk about it. So we'll look outside together and say, well, what does it look like? So if it looks like it's, I don't know, if you see the sun, then it could be sunny. But if you see the sun and you also see clouds, then it's partly sunny. And then they have to decide, you know, who's gonna pick it and who's gonna put it on. So sometimes I let one pick it, one pull it on, so just so they're not fighting. And then we'll move on to like counting. So I just make one for every month. So this is December, and then we'll count together. We'll use our counters and we'll just go through them, you know, the day. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and whoever counted, they both can count to 40. Like Faith can count to 100, Harmony can count to 40, so they're good with the calendar. So whoever counts will circle the day that it is. So today was December 11th. So whoever did that, I can't remember who did it today, but maybe it was Faith. So she circled it, and then we talked about how today is the December 11th. It's also Harmony's birthday, so let's sing happy birthday. And then we just sang happy birthday. But so whoever gets to count will be the one to circle it, and then whoever didn't do that will get to talk about what day it is and like what day. So what day of the week is it, and you know what's special about this day, or do we have a doctor's appointment, do they have preschool, is it someone's birthday, and so on. And then finally the last thing that we'll do, and out of all these cards that I've been showing, there's a few more that are not here that are on my board over there, and it's just because they have graduated from those, so they don't need them anymore, so I put them aside. But the last thing that we'll do is time, work on telling time. So like I got this from the Dollar Tree and I love it. I'll show you. So I'll start with like, all right, so the little hand is pointing to the 1. What time is it? 1 o'clock. All right, now it's pointing to the 2. What time is it? 2 o'clock, and so on and so on and so on, and just go through all the times. So glad you're doing this. Oh, I love you, Tracy. Thank you so much. You're so sweet. I'm trying to like use my teaching degree. I got my master's of education, and I feel like I haven't been using it. So I'm like, how can I share, and all those years of teaching that I taught kids for, I'm like, how can I share that with moms and or dads, but really moms, and then just be a blessing to them. So that the stuff that I know and that I'm using with my kids, that I can share that with others to use with their kids. So thank you, Tracy. And I know you have the little Storybug. I love the songs on there. My kids really love watching you. So you're a huge resource, an amazing one as well. Thank you, Michelle. You're a blessing too, sis. I'm so glad to see you. I've missed you. The only thing that we haven't started doing with our kids in terms of time is like half time. So like 4:30. Is this charging? So we'll do like at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, blah, 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 but we haven't done like 1:30, 2:30, 3:30, and so on. We're just keeping it really simple and just starting at the basics. They don't understand the concept of time completely right now. I think they're just regurgitating that. If I'm saying, well, the little hand is pointing to the what, the 1, the 2, the 3, whatever I say, they kind of know. If mommy says the little hand is pointing to the 1, it's 1 o'clock. If she says the little hand is pointing to the 5, it's 5 o'clock. But they're not there where they can look at like this right now and tell me, like, if I do that, neither one of them are there to be like, oh, it's 6 o'clock, mom. So we're working at that. We're just practicing and we'll get there. But yeah, so that's what I wanted to share. The last thing that it's not part of this board per se, but since we do it every day, other than our little alphabet sheet there, I wanted to show you. Sorry, I'm struggling. Oh my gosh. Sorry. Okay. So it's these sheets that I made. It's these sheets that I just made it. I just printed it out online, and I'll show you. They practice spelling like this, and because they've been practicing for so long, Faith now knows how to spell her name. Or not, she always knew how to spell her name, but she's learning how to write it now. And it's this. Like, can you see that? You guys are so sweet. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Jillian. No, it's just this baby. He's like taking up all the room in my belly, and every time if I move, it hurts. my sciatica nerve has been hurting real bad, but if I like, see how I'm sitting right now? I'm like on the floor, which is probably not good, but like you can see here. So if I lean in like this, it's like it's too much for him, and he kicks my ribs, and it or just moves his butt or any part of his body into my ribs, and it hurts. It's nice to feel it, but it hurts. You guys remember in yesterday's video, I was talking about pregnancy videos or pregnancy symptoms. He is having fun taking over mommy. He sure is. Aw, inspiring teachers, great teaching resource. Thank you so much, inspiring teachers. I've never seen you on our channel before. Thank you for joining, and thank you for that awesome compliment. I hope that you guys will subscribe and check out our morning routine where you can actually see our kids in action using these resources. So Faith uses this one, and Harmony uses, you know, this one. Aw, thank you so much. We did a morning routine recently, day in life, and then I did a morning routine from like this last summer. You can check out both of those. I'm actually going to be doing another morning routine video tomorrow. I'm going to film it tomorrow and probably upload it on like Friday. So you can look out for that. And if you have any resources that you want to share, please go ahead and do those. I would love to check that out as well, and I'll check out your channel when I sign off too. So Faith uses this one and Harmony uses this one, and they just practice. Honestly, Harmony is just working on H, and I've seen her start to try and make A's. That's it, just H and A, and that's a great start right now. Maybe you can be a guest on our teaching show. Aw, that's so sweet. Thank you so much. I would love to be a guest on your show, for sure. What an honor. Thank you. Send me an email, nurtureinChrist@gmail.com, and we can talk more about it. I would love that. So these are great for like just getting them to practice spelling their names. And then I got this from a store. I love this thing, okay? I mean, I love it. Every day they're allowed to pick whatever letter they want, and then practice. I don't know, let me see if you guys can see that. So it does capital letters, lowercase letters, and then the name of whatever's in the picture. And literally it goes from A to Z, and it's just like a write and wipe book. I highly recommend encouraging your children to practice letters, uppercase, lowercase, and then actually spelling what they're gonna need to know on the, like, literally the first day of not kindergarten, or on the first day of kindergarten, their name. And another thing, sorry, there's one thing that I wish more people would tell, like, I wish even the doctor's office would tell people this, because where else would you learn it? But like, your kids knowing A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, that doesn't help them at all. It really, 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 really doesn't. It doesn't. It's just the truth. It doesn't. What they need to know is letter sounds, like phonetic awareness. Letter sounds are everything, because let's take this word. Let's take the word. We'll use apple, for example. Let's use the word apple. That's a great example. If I can say, hey, how do you spell apple? And they're like, Apple. That being able to identify that the letters in apple are Apple are great, but that doesn't actually teach them how to say the word apple. What they need to know is that the A says ah. So when they're seeing the word and apple, they need to say ah. Uses, of course, we'd use apple. Right, Faith, that would make Faith so happy. They need to know that the A makes the sound, and then the P makes the p sound, and then LE is actually like an exception. You're so silly. LE is an exception, so that's not really a good example of a word, but like I'll give you an example. I have these puzzles that I do with them. Haley, Princess, hi sister. Thank you for joining us today. All right, I'm gonna take my phone off of the charger because I want to show you. Okay, sorry, I'm so. You need some advice, girl? Ask whatever. Ask away. I would love to give you advice. Where's the puzzle that they've been working on? Let me see if I can find this puzzle. So there's this awesome puzzle that they work on, and Faith. Oh, here it is. Okay, so Faith kept saying. Let me plug it back in. Faith kept saying when I showed her the word, I showed her, it was a picture of a plane, and really it was a jet plane. The word that she had to spell, these are 4-letter words. So let me show you the back of the box. I have a 5-year-old daughter and her belly button is always dirty. Can you give me some tips and methods you use to clean your kid's belly button? For sure, really, just at bath time. Use a washcloth and teach them how to go in circles, just to like circle their belly button. That's all I do with our kids. If you don't clean it every day, we give our kids baths every day, and I know most people don't, but if you just teach her how to like get into the habit of like soaping it up really well and like using a washcloth, it'll help. That's like the belly button, and then in the behind the ears are the one area that a lot of kids don't clean. It's funny, I don't know why I know that. I guess because I used to babysit for a while, but it's the one area that kids don't clean. And I always see dirt. I would always see dirt in it for like our preschool kids. So a lot of people don't think about the belly button, but it collects a lot of dirt. So good luck with that, Haley. This puzzle is the one that I got for our kids and I was talking about. So let me show you. So you see that picture of the jet right there? No, don't use Q-tips. Q-tips are really hard. I don't even use Q-tips for ears because they can get stuck in your ear. Just use a washcloth and use your fingers and just go in circles, and a washcloth will do the tips. Q-tips are terrible. Some people might swear by them, but they're actually really bad, and the belly button's really sensitive. The Q-tips can actually hurt. Seriously, it can do damage. I learned that from a doctor. my uncle doctor, Uncle Steve. So, the word jet, she kept seeing it, and then she'd put the puzzle together, and she was like, jet. No, she was like, plane. And I was like, what word is that? She's like, plane. It's plane. I was like, it's not. I need you to sound it out. So I said, what letter does the J make? And she said, J. And I said, what letter does the E make? And she said, ah. I said, what sound does the T make? And she said, T. So I said, well, let's practice saying that together. J, et, j, et, j, et, jet. It says jet, mama. So I'm like, well, then what is it? And she's like, it's a plane. And I said, but what sound did you just sound out? She said, jet. And I said, so what is it? She said, oh, it's a jet. It's a jet. And she was so excited. And I was like, ah. I was like, oh my gosh. I got so teared up because I'm like, she's understanding that it's like you recognize something. And it's not like just what you think but it's like, what are you reading? What are you understanding? And just to see, like, I guess Oprah would call it her aha moment, just seeing her eyes light up and be like, it's a jet. I was so happy. And it happened with Harmony and another word. I can't even remember what word. Oh, hen. She kept saying chicken, chicken, chicken. It's a chicken, 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 cluck, 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 chicken, chicken, chicken. And I said, but what are you seeing? You know, n. It's a hen, mama. It's a hen. I'm like, it's a hen? It's a hen? She's like, no, it's a chicken. I'm like, it's a hen. No, mama, it's a chicken. Okay, Harmony. So it's like just like little things like that. But they're learning, they're learning and it's awesome. And she did it with top too. She didn't know what it anyway. I could go on forever. It's sweet. Oh, I can see what you ladies are saying. Michelle, I'm telling you, and Jillian, I was saying the same thing. I'm telling you, like I get teared up sometimes as I teach them and I watch them learn. And like some people say really horrible things like why I'm wasting my life by being a I'll give you the verbatim, twiddling my thumbs at home by like being a stay-at-home mom. I'm twiddling my thumbs. I got all these degrees for no reason because I'm at home twiddling my thumbs and I'm like okay, thanks. I'm not twiddling my thumbs. I'm using my time here to like educate our children and to like love on them as God leads me to, not twiddling my thumbs at all. And like little things like that will validate me and like and comfort me that like I got to see that moment where my child read for the first time and understood that something that I was teaching, like letter sounds, was more than just a song like the A says ah, but that using something that she was learning from mama was able to be applied to something to teach her that what she thought that it was a plane, that it wasn't, it was a jet. It was. So now we'll be outside and we'll see one flying in the sky and I'll be like, oh look, it's a plane, and she's like, no, mama, it's a jet. And it's just sweet. I get to enjoy that stuff, so it's a blessing and I'm very thankful, and I don't take it for granted because I know a lot of people that wish they could be a stay-at-home mom and they can't because of finances, and honestly for us it's a struggle. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of things that we want to do that we can't do because it's one income, and that's just a reality. I'm keeping it real, but it's a choice that we made and it's a sacrifice, and I'm thankful that we have that opportunity to teach our kids. So no, I'm not twiddling my thumbs, and no, I miss teaching, but not really. Like I used to break up a lot of fights. I used to teach in Detroit. I broke up fights like at least 3 fights every single week. A kid came to school, I was just talking about this, a kid came to school on the last week of school with a knife to knife me. This kid fully brought like a huge kitchen knife to school to stab me up because in his mind I had failed him. He failed himself because he never did his work. He was probably the smartest kid in 8th grade and he never did work. Ever. He didn't feel like he had to. He didn't want to. He didn't show up to class when he didn't feel like it. He failed himself. He failed himself. We begged him throughout the year. And anyway, long story short, he came to stab me. We were able to get the knife and he couldn't stab me, but that's just an example of where I say like I don't miss teaching. I don't miss being in unsafe environments and like putting my life at risk and dealing with all the stuff you have to deal with as a teacher. I was making $36,000 a year doing that, like teaching science. There's people making so much more doing so much less, and I just felt like, is it about the money to me, or is it about investing in my kids, and being there for the first 5 years of their life, 4 or 5 years of their life, to be able to invest in them and not go to invest in other kids, but just to work on investing in mine and not chase money. So we talked about it and I decided I'm not going to chase money. I'm going to settle with what we're making and trust that God will provide and that my husband's going to, continue to take care of us and use my skills for my kids. So no, if you're one of those people out there that think that being a stay-at-home mom is a waste of life or a waste of time and that all we do is twiddle our thumbs, or like what I keep hearing, that most stay-at-home moms are not educated, that's just not the truth. A lot of us are educated and we just decided to make the sacrifice for a time. So, I don't know, I went on a huge tangent there, but that's just to say I'm thankful for things like that, like getting to see our kids read for the first time and not hearing that they did it, at a daycare or whatever, but getting to actually experience it. I'm very thankful for that blessing. Um, I see a question. Oh, Michelle, you're so sweet. Thank you so much. I love the little victories too, Jill. Huge blessings. Haley, you said innies or outies. Our kids don't have innies or outies. They're right in the middle. So I can say for them, or are they really? I don't know. Maybe they're more on the innie side. But most little kids don't have complete innies. Most little kids, like, it's still like somewhere in the middle. So if you use the washcloth, if it's outie or if it's an outie or an innie, and you just soap it up real well, be able to like clean it. Oops, it should be able to clean just fine. You said, Jillian said, isn't it funny how people tend to tell you their truth, girl? So glad to hear you didn't let it bother you. It bothered me. It bothered me, but you're right. Thank you, sis. It took me a while, and I had to get to the point where I was like, I'm not gonna let it bother me anymore, because other people's perspectives don't necessarily, and that was my dad that said that first. It was my dad that said that I'm at home twiddling my thumbs. My mom's been telling me I need to go back to work from before I even had a kid. Um, and several family members, cousins, several friends. I have a friend that just told me the other day that he agrees that stay-at-home moms don't do anything. We just sit down and Netflix and chill all day. And I was like, ask me the last time I watched TV. I don't watch TV. There's a show that I like called This Is Us. I mean, I'm like, it's called This Is Us. I'm sure everyone here probably watches that show. I love that show, but I catch it when I can. Like, I've missed the last 2 weeks. I catch it when I can because I'm so busy with these kids and trying to do YouTube and trying to write my book and do a lot of things. So, anyway, I'm going on another tangent. Forgive me, you guys. But thank you. Thank you, Jillian. Thank you. You're sweet. And Michelle, you guys, I appreciate your encouragement. I really, really do. Oh, Haley said, I love your vlogs. Thank you for watching, Haley. That means a lot to me. When you watch them, comment so I know that you're watching, because I have no idea. I'll see, like, 1,000 viewers or 500 or whatever, 100 or 50 or whatever it is on the video, but I never know who actually watches unless you comment. So, you watching. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me. Michelle, the real MVP girl. I love you. Life is hard. I think all mamas are MVPs, because being a mom is hard. Yesterday I talked about it was like mom confessions, and one of them was how I really feel about pregnancy and about tantrums and about discipline. Lord knows it's hard, but things are getting better. Yes, girl, we are all MVPs. Amen to that. Glory to God for the blessing of children, and glory to God for the blessing of moms that really do care. Like you. All right, you guys, I'm gonna sign off, but before I go, pregnancy, girl, trust me. Before I go, it really is a different experience. So I was gonna tell you guys the name of our son, because that's what I said yesterday that I was gonna tell you, but Tony wants me to do it in a special way, and I think he wants to be a part of the video. So we're gonna film that on Friday, and then I'm gonna see if I can upload it on Saturday morning so you guys can see. But he wanted us to do it in a special way, and like, I thought that the way that I had planned it was good enough, but he just didn't think it was good enough. So he's off on Friday. He took vacation day, so we're gonna record it together and just have like a sit down, like a couple sit down, and we're gonna update you guys on our marriage. If you watched that video in June or July, I shared with you guys that we've been doing marital counseling, and it's just because after having kids, we started to drift. We stopped talking to each other. We stopped going out on dates. We didn't have a single date in 3 years, and we started like fighting a lot, like just arguing and bickering about stupid stuff. Like, I would tell him, for example, he didn't wash the baby bottle enough because there's still soap suds on it, and I'd be really annoyed. Like, I'd be like, dude, you don't even, like, how did you rinse this one time? Why is there still soap on it? Whereas if you're rinsing a dish that you use for yourself, you wouldn't rinse it once and walk away knowing there's still soap suds on it. You'd rinse it at least 2 or 3 times, wouldn't you? And he's like, no, I rinse everything one time. Just rinse it well. And I'd be like, that's dumb. Like, look at the bottle. There's soap on it still. Pay attention. Like, just to me, I wasn't trying to be condescending, but I was just trying to be like, duh, like, you're giving a baby milk. If you soap it up and you rinse it once, even if that's what you do for yourself, which makes no sense, but even if that's what you do, look at the bottle. Look, is the soap washed off? Feel it. Is it squeaking or is it still slippery and slimy because there's soap on it? Like, and I'd be so annoyed and I'd be like, this guy's an idiot. And I was really thinking, like, just ill of him. Like, does he think? And like, I was just annoyed a lot, a lot. Like, if he was washing the baby, like helping me, but he'd be like washing the head first. And I'd be like, if you wash the baby's head first, the kid's gonna be cold for the whole bath. That's dumb. Wash the head last so that they're not sitting there cold. And his thing was like, no, the water's cleanest at the start of the bath, so you wash the head first. And I'd be like, just get fresh water. Wash the head last, wash the body, and then just use fresh water for the head. It's so simple. So we were arguing about like little things all the time, and like the arguments led to like stuff. So he'd be like, okay, well, if you don't like the way I wash dishes, I'm just not gonna wash dishes anymore. So then he would stop washing dishes, so I'd be the only one washing dishes. And then I didn't like the way that he washed the kids' heads first, so then he'd be like, well, I'm not gonna give them baths anymore, you do it. You think that you know how to bathe them better than me, you bathe them, I'm not bathing them anymore. So then I was the only one doing bath. And like, just so little things like that, you know. And like, he doesn't like rice. I love rice. I'm Caribbean, I'm Trini, so rice is a huge staple in the Caribbean community. And every time I cook, he'd be like, oh, I don't feel like eating. And I'd be like, you're not hungry? He'd be like, well, no, I'm not hungry. And then 10 minutes later he's getting cereal, and I'm like, I took all this time to cook and you're eating cereal? Are you kidding? You know, like, it's so inconsiderate. And I'd feel bad, you know, and he'd be like, I just don't like rice. And I'm like, well, why didn't you tell me that? So just, you know, we're just arguing about like stuff. We weren't communicating well. We were just fighting. And then it got worse and worse and worse to the point where like we're not arguing, but now we're like barely talking. Now he comes home from work and he's on his phone for an hour, or he's going to sleep for 3 hours. And I'm like, oh my God, I hate my life, and I hate this life that we're creating for ourselves. And when we do talk, we're not talking about ourselves, we're just talking about the kids. And when we argue, it's about like dumb stuff that like, not dumb stuff, but like we're just like on different pages, you know? Like, why can't we just decide, okay, we'll rinse 3 times if we're gonna rinse a bottle. If you're washing a bottle, rinse it 3 times. And why can't that be fine? Why does my way of rinsing 5 times have to be dumb, and your way of rinsing once have to be dumb? Why can't we just like connect? And like, that's what marriage counseling has helped. And we'll get into more details together about it, but like, it just helped us to like, just reminded us to like not let the season that, hey, we're just both stressed out. Because sometimes we would argue about like little things that didn't matter, but at the end of the day, it was just, we're stressed out. You know, being parents of young children is stressful, and going on very little sleep, hey baby, going on very little sleep is stressful. And it's a season. It's a season. It's a season. It's a season. And just reminding ourselves that it will pass. Yes, we're tired. Yes, we're exhausted. Yes, we're frustrated. Yes, we're on different pages, but it will pass. And, you know, things have been getting so much better. And as these kids get older and we're able to communicate with them better and talk to them, and they're able to understand, things have gotten better in those ways as well. As husband and wife, we talk to each other and respect each other and listen to each other and value each other and think the best as opposed to assuming the worst. But things have gotten so much better. So we'll talk about that more in detail as well on Friday. Michelle just said marriage is difficult because two different people have to learn ways. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth, sis? And you might have like something that you believe to be so true, and the person that you're married to they completely disagree. And then it's not challenged because you're like, oh, who cares? I think what I think, you think what I think, no biggie. And then you have children. And then it's like, oh, now it does matter. So like, I'm completely against hitting because I was hit. Like, we were both abused as children, but like, I decided I never want to hit because of that abuse. I'll never hit my kids because I was abused. And Tony I won't say that he doesn't agree with that, but like he doesn't disagree with that, but he is open to spanking if it's necessary. And he thinks that sometimes it might be necessary. But to me, I don't want to do it. And sometimes I feel like spanking. I sure do. But because I made this pact and commitment to myself that I will never spank, I don't want to do it. So it's like now we have to figure out, okay, well, what alternative ways can we teach? So we talk a lot more. We do timeouts. We do think about it breaks where the kids have to think about their decisions. And we talk a lot more when it's easier to just spank. Um, so yeah, just different things like that, like things come up that didn't matter before, but now you're married and now you have a kid and you got to be on the same page because, one person can't be doing one thing and the other's doing something else. Michelle said my husband and I are doing the same thing, but we are um, oops, but we are beating it. Oh, hallelujah! I'm glad that you guys are beating it and you're able to overcome the challenges and the struggles of marriage because there are many, and this is just the beginning. As the kids grow up, more and more things will come up that you didn't know that matter. Like, when can they date? Can they date at all? Curfews, can they go hang out with friends? Sleepovers, is that okay or not? Like little things, big things. And then you just want to know that you want to be on the same page with your spouse. So like, I don't trust people. I dealt with some stuff in life and I don't trust people, so they'll never sleep over anywhere ever. So like, just little things. No dating until 100. Good luck, Michelle, because some parents say, no dating, and then other parents say if you don't let them date, they'll just hide and start dating in secret. And let me tell you, when I was teaching fourth grade, do you know these kids were already dating, like kissing, boyfriends, girlfriends kissing? And I heard about stuff happening in second grade and third grade, and I was like, you guys aren't even 10 yet. You're not even 10. Like, why are you kissing and touching other bots of someone else's body? Like, oh, oh my gosh. And little girls were getting their period at 9 and 8. Things are happening so much earlier. Anyway, definitely went on some tangents there. My bad, girl. I feel the same way. Why do they? Oops. I just zoomed way into my face. How do I zoom out? Yeah, no, I'm telling you, I don't want my kids dating either anytime soon, but those realities are we're just gonna have to talk about it and figure out plans. Girl, I wish they didn't have to date until they were in their 20s. But did I, like I was interested in boys from like 12 when I started 7th grade. So if that was me, seventh grade, 6th grade, oh gosh. Yeah, at 7th grade. You said you too? Oh gosh. So what are our children gonna do, We gotta prepare them. Conversations, man. Tough, tough, tough conversations. Anyway, you guys, I'm going on many tangents and I just enjoy talking and I could talk forever because I love you guys and I love communicating with y'all and hearing what y'all have to say and reading everything you're writing. So I'm pretty sure Joanne and Jillian and Joy and Michelle, that all four of you guys have been on this, and Tracy, that all of you have been on here for a hot minute, and my my tendencies to just talk. But I'm gonna sign off so that you guys can not be on here forever because I feel bad. But I will be back tomorrow. I'm enjoying just connecting with you guys, and tomorrow the topic is I'm doing so Mondays are mom confession Mondays. Tuesdays are teach Tuesdays where I'll teach some sort of educational something. Whatever God drops in my spirit to teach, I'll be teaching. And then sorry, my dad's calling. And then Wednesdays will be workout Wednesdays. So tomorrow I'm actually going to be talking about something that's near and dear to my heart. Kegels, and what are they and how do you do them properly? I thought for a long time I was doing Kegels correctly. Hopefully my dad calling is not messing up the sound on this video. I meant to put this phone on do not disturb mode and I forgot to do that, so I'm just gonna repeat myself in case the call messed it up. I was saying Mondays will be mom confession Mondays. Tuesdays will be teach Tuesdays where I teach something like, something education wise when it has to do with children. Either how to train your children, how to potty train your children, which is what we're doing next week, or how to teach them some of these basic skills. Um, if there's something special, your dad's call, I'm telling you, you're so funny. No, I'll call him back. Um, he's probably calling because he realized it's my daughter's birthday and he missed it. No biggie, but yeah. So teach Tuesdays. Wednesdays will be workout Wednesdays, and obviously I can't work out the same way I want, but Kegels are a form of exercise. And did you say I'm gonna be grounded? Y'all are funny. You ladies got jokes. My dad lives in New York. It's funny. He didn't raise me, and the things that him and my mom went through, they were like estranged, and they still don't like each other, not even a little bit. So my mom secretly hates that I have a relationship with him. Not so secretly. But I'm glad that I do because I love him, and he maybe wasn't a dad to me, but like we're kind of like friends, and I'm thankful for that because I do love him and I do think he's cool. Um, wasn't there at all for me, but that was between them. And I'm thankful that God has given me my dad, even though whatever happened, I'm thankful for him. But yeah, so Wednesdays are workout Wednesdays. So we're going to talk about Kegels and how to do them. And when I say Kegels, I don't know, some people say Kegels, but I think it's Kegels. And basically another word for them is pelvic floor exercises. For those of you that have had children, or maybe those of you that haven't had children and you've just had sex, you will understand that the I'm glad you have a relationship now. Aw, thank you, Jillian. You're so sweet. Some people have this phrase where they say keeping it tight and right when they're talking about the vagina. And it's just basically like, how do you keep your vagina muscles or vaginal muscles tight? So we'll talk about Kegels and how to do them. I, for years, thought I was doing them correctly, and only last month, last month did I learn, oh, I'm not doing them correctly at all because there's actually 3 parts to a Kegel. And we'll talk about that tomorrow for Workout Wednesday. 3 parts to your Kegels, your pussy tightening exercises, your pelvic floor exercises, your vaginal muscle exercises. We're going to talk about how to do those for Workout Wednesday. So I will see you guys tomorrow at 9 o'clock. I'll tell you, I learned this from my physical therapist doctor. When she told me, and she's like, I need you to do this, this, and this. I was like, I've never felt that before. And she was like, you just did a Kegel. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have never done a Kegel before. So I'm going to teach you guys how to do it. I'm going to teach you what she told. I'm in so much pain, sorry. I'm going to teach you what she taught me, and that will help you to keep your vagina tight and right. So that when you have babies, or when you and your husband have had years and years and years of sex, you can still keep it tight and right. Do you guys think I'm silly? Oh gosh. Comment below if you will be back. You said good, I need to know. Girl, me too, let me tell you. Because now with this 3rd baby, woo, my vagina, well, I'll let you guys know tomorrow too, but my vagina ripped when I was pushing Harmony out. Ripped, okay, and I had to get it sewn. Like I got the inside ripped, and I had to get it sewn. And I thank God that like it wasn't worse, because it really wasn't that bad. But Lord have mercy, now that I'm having this boy, I'm already like, please God, let me not rip anywhere. Let me just like push him out and be fine. But yeah, Kegels will help regardless of if you have any tearing or ripping, or if you maybe don't want to have a child, anyone that's watching this, and maybe you don't want to have children, but you plan to have lots of sex. You want to be able to keep it tight and right, and Kegels help, but doing them properly helps. So I will be back tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Jillian said I'm all ears. Girl, let me tell you, when she told me, I was like, oh my gosh, why don't we know this? Why don't our doctors tell us this? You're telling us all these other things that don't matter. Tell us how to do Kegels. So I will see you guys tomorrow at 9, and we will break it down. You guys are going to laugh, but I'm gonna tell you the right way to do it, and I thank God that she taught me so that now I can teach you guys. I will see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful night. Quick prayer before I go. Father God, please bless everybody watching this, and bless their families, their friends, and their loved ones. Thank you so much for the time we were able to spend together and just laugh and hang out, learning about all of this good stuff for the kiddos, either for anyone that has children or like Jillian, for example, that has adorable little nieces that you guys can spend just quality time teaching your children, and Michelle, who has young ones as well. You guys can spend quality time teaching your kids. If they already know like their colors and their shapes and their months and all that stuff, maybe you can teach them like the positive affirmations, like this stuff. Maybe you can just like go over that with them and let them know. This is something that you can say every day to build yourself up and to guard your hearts. That you remind yourself that God made you, He loves you. Even for the adults watching this, it's not just about the kids, but like, do you know that God made you, that He loves you, that you're blessed? Do you know that you're strong and kind and gifted and beautiful? We spend so much time trying to like encourage kids and telling other people what they are, especially the moms on here. Always blessing our kids. But like, Michelle, do you know? You said thank you. You're so sweet. Do you know that you're beautiful? Do you say that to yourself? Do you take the time to think about like who God made you? Jillian, like, are you looking for your value every day in Him? Like, are you reminding yourself every single day, I am beautiful? It's not about my hair. It's not about my skin. It's not about, a man choosing me or a director picking me. It's about who God made me to be, like, beautiful, smart, kind, strong, resilient, all these things. Like, can we remind ourselves that we are more than enough and that we are valuable in Him just because of who He created us to be? So before I go, Father God, sorry, my prayer got ended there, but just bless everyone that's watching this, please, in the name of Jesus, and remind them that you imagine them. I want all of you right now to know that God imagined you. You didn't just get here. Like, there's a scripture that says, like, before we were even born, He does, like, he formed us in our mother's womb. So before we were even born, God was working on us. Like, He literally imagined you. You're not just like here by random, like, oh, accident. He imagined you, and then He designed you, and then He created you. Like, it was all in His mind before you even got here. So you're not like, the way your eyes light up when you laugh, or the way your voice sounds, or the way you smile, or the way you walk, or the way you think, or the way you forgive, or the way you love or consider others or take the time to encourage others, like me. Like, you guys are all special. You're not just regular. You're not just like everyone else. You're like, there's no one else out there like you. There's this book I read to my girls, and I want to share a line with you, my favorite line in the book. It goes, "You being you is God's dream coming true." So, ladies, take that in, please, that being just who you are, not trying to be anybody else. Lord knows when we compare ourselves to others, sometimes we're like, oh, I wish I were more like this, or I wish I were this, or I wish I were, I had bigger breasts, I was funnier, I had clearer skin, had longer hair, I was funnier, I was more extroverted, I was more this, I wish. We all have these things that we're not like happy about completely, and we wish that we could be a little more this or a little more this, but like, I want you to know, ladies, just take it in, please. Take it into your soul that you being exactly who you are is God's dream coming true, because He made you exactly who you are, and you are perfect. Perfect in Him. So if you have chipped teeth, perfect. Perfect. He likes your teeth, okay? Literally perfect. Perfect. And like, I don't want you to let the world and the world's definition and images that we're socialized to believe that that's what perfection is, and beauty is, and intelligence is, and all that stuff. You are perfect just the way you are. let that resonate with you. And when you go to sleep tonight, I pray it can put a smile on your face and deep in your heart that you are perfect just as he made you, and that he loves you truly unconditionally. There's nothing you can do to earn that love. There's nothing you can do to ever lose that love, that he loves you just the way you are and longs to spend time with you. So if you can chit chat with him a little bit before you go to sleep, talk to him just like I'm talking to you, because that's how I talk to him too. Just keep it real. God, I had a good day. Hey, God, I had a bad day. This is what happened. I know you know, but we just talking. I pray tomorrow's a good day. Like, Lord, help me to do this. Help me to do this. Help me to do this. Help me to do. Like, I even pray, like, Lord, help me to. I gotta take out my hair soon. It's time. I don't know if you can see my roots. It's time. Lord, tell me when to do it. Give me the strength to do it, because one, my hands hurt when I take it out. Two, oh my gosh. Like, blah, 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 blah. I just talk to God about everything. But I love you guys. Oh, you guys are sending me sweet messages. Oh, Michelle said, that's why I love your vlog, sis. And you don't do it enough, girl. We'll start doing it some more. And thank you so much, Michelle. You're so sweet. Jillian said, that is so powerful. Hallelujah, girl. I'm glad that you feel that power, because I think God wants us to be powerful and to feel the strength and the joy and the worth that comes with knowing that, like, we mean so much to him. Where'd that message go? Oh, there it is. You being you is God's dream coming true. Thank you for sharing this for now, and more so for letting God use you. Oh, God bless you, Jillian. I love you, sis. I love you, ladies, so, so much. All right, so I'm going to sign off because I've been on here for a while and I don't want you guys to be mad at me. So I'm going to go. I love you guys so much, and I will see you tomorrow, Workout Wednesday, to talk about Kegels. I'll see you at 9 o'clock. I love you guys. Have a wonderful day. You guys, I will be thinking about all of you, and I'm going to uplift you in prayer tonight and then again tomorrow morning when I get on my knees. I might not get on my knees. I might just pray for my bed. But I will be praying for you, Michelle. I will be praying for you, Jillian. I will be praying for you, Joy. I will be praying for you, Tracy. I will be praying for you, Haley. I will be praying for you. Of the individual that was with Inspiring Teachers, but God knows who you are, so I'm going to pray for you too. I don't think I've missed anybody. Oh, I will be praying for you too, Joanne. I'm not sure if you're still here, but if you are, I'll be praying for you too. And then the lady from Couple to Love, I don't know your name, I just know your channel's name, but I'll be praying for you as well. All right, you guys have a wonderful night. I will see you tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Thank you so much for joining me tonight and for bearing with me with for long. I love you too, sis. I see you, Jillian. I love you too. Good night, Michelle. I love you, ladies. Have a wonderful one. You said take it easy, by the way. I shall. I have a little bit of tidying to do. And then tomorrow I'm taking the girls on a field trip. God help me. So I'm going to try and get some sleep. I just have to wash up some dishes a little bit. I was going to edit the vlog for tomorrow, but I'm not going to do that anymore. I'll do that when the girls are sleeping tomorrow. It's Harmony's birthday, what we did today. So I'm going to edit that tomorrow. Darn it, I should have posted that it was her birthday online. All right, so I'm going to post that it's her birthday, and then I'll edit the vlog tomorrow. Yeah, and then I'm going to sleep. Michelle, you said sleep. Girl, you're right. Let me go to sleep. All right, ladies, sleep well. I love you guys so much. God bless you. I will see you tomorrow. Good advice, Michelle. Good advice, Jillian. I need to relax myself and just chill out. I'll just post all that tomorrow. You're right. Thanks, ladies. See? Wisdom from God's perfect ones, his daughters, his children. Thank you for your wisdom, girls. Thank you. I'm going to go to sleep. I'm going to start the dishwasher. Ooh, there's clothes in the washer. So I'm going to put some clothes in the dryer, turn on the washing machine, or turn on the dryer, put on the dishwasher, and take my butt to bed. Everything else can wait. All right. I love you guys. Have a wonderful night. God bless you. And I will see you tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Bye.